Hey guys, Jason here again with an episode of Sports Buzz. Today, I figured I will give you guys a recap of the Stadium Series since I first kind of announced it, kind of shared my thoughts on it. When it was originally announced, I believe it was during last summer or even last spring. It was last year sometime. So I will give my recap so far of what I think of it. All right. So I'll go game by game, sort of, and there are 5 games that I will mention in this series, 6 including the Winter Classic. Let's get right started. All right, so the Winter Classic was obviously the first outdoor game this year. This is where the Stadium Series kind of came from. Of course, the Winter Classic first being played in 2008. This year's game, I got a chance to watch the entire game. It was 2 original 6 teams, the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Detroit Red Wings. Very entertaining game throughout. A lot of hype to it. I've been kind of playing the virtual NHL 2013 game for a year now of that matchup, kind of getting ready. I enjoy the Winter Classic every year. It's just a tradition for me on New Year's Day now. This game was no different. It was at the Big House in Ann Arbor, Michigan, where the Michigan Wolverines play football. Very entertaining game, as I had said. It was basically a 1-1 game throughout. Second period scoring. Second, third period scoring nothing in the first. It ended up going into overtime in a shootout. The Toronto Maple Leafs won, to my delight because I'm a Chicago Blackhawks fan. But it was just a historic day. The attendance was historic. Just to split down the middle between the two teams in the stadium. Half Toronto, half Detroit, just kind of a rivalry, kind of there, obviously, from the original 6. Attendance was at 105,000, I believe, here. Ratings were high, of course. The bowl games kind of took a backseat, in my opinion. I really didn't watch any bowl games that day, but it was it was snowing, just everything. The whole atmosphere was amazing, and I really enjoyed it. Okay, then let's switch to the Stadium Series now. The first game, like I said, there are 4 outdoor games and 5 including the Heritage Classic. The first game was played on January 25th of this year in Dodger Stadium. I switch my notes here. Dodger Stadium, the Anaheim Ducks versus at the LA Kings, of course. The game was played in LA. A very unique setting, of course, in Dodger Stadium, as I had just said. In the right field, I believe, was a volleyball court. Left field was Kiss, the band, performed at Detroit Rock City. Just a unique setting. Everything was unique. You don't think to see hockey in the middle of January in LA. It was just very bizarre seeing green grass being played on a hockey rink and everything when there was a foot of snow outside of my door. Very interesting. I really enjoyed the highlights that I saw. I wasn't able to see the entire game. I love everything about it. It was just action-packed, 2 physical teams. Of course, Anaheim was coming to that game pretty hot, actually. They lost to the Chicago Blackhawks, and they were on a very impressive run. They are very impressive this year, I will admit, being a Chicago Blackhawks fan. Very entertaining that game was, everything about it. The second game here, January 26th, so last Sunday, was the Rangers, New York Rangers versus the New Jersey Devils. Very entertaining. Again, the Devils were the home team, wearing the Christmas-colored red and green jerseys. Very nice there. And the Rangers, of course, being the away team for this game. Very entertaining. 7-3 the final. Back and forth game. Marty Brodeur had a very bad game after the game actually called the ice the worst ice that he has played on. There was actually a sun delay in that game for about an hour, and it was interesting to see how the ice was positioned. It was across midfield of the baseball diamond, of course, and just the sun and everything, and it was a very unusual delay. And actually, in the Anaheim Ducks game, in the Kings game, there was a moth delay because there was a moth that got on the ice. So very unique circumstances that we're seeing with these Winter Classic games and the Stadium Series games. Something that I think will bring that brings hockey fans that see this joy, and casual fans will bring in, especially with the Rangers winning the two outdoor games they played in Yankee Stadium. The second being actually yesterday, the Rangers versus the Islanders, 2-1 New York advantage. In this game, the Rangers advantage. Daniel Carcillo, formerly of the Philadelphia Flyers and the Chicago Blackhawks, scored the game-winning goal to lead the Rangers. Very entertaining again. This time it was underneath the lights, a rivalry game on NBC Sports. And I really enjoyed seeing it underneath the lights. I saw the highlights this morning. Just very, very entertaining, down to the wire. I enjoyed that very much. All right, the fourth and final game that I want to talk about, the Stadium Series games, the Chicago Blackhawks and Pittsburgh Penguins game. That game has not happened yet. It will be at Soldier Field March 1st of this year. I am looking forward to it, being a Chicago native and being in the Chicagoland area, being a Blackhawks fan. I think the Blackhawks obviously got a very nice win, 5-2 yesterday, versus the Vancouver Canucks. Kind of we're on a slide going into that game yesterday, and hopefully that will turn them around. They did look pretty impressive, as I had said. Marian Hossa, of course, having a great year. Patrick Sharp having a great year. Duncan Keith having a very nice year on the defensive side of the puck for the Chicago Blackhawks. But so are the Penguins. I'm not. I will admit, I'm not the biggest follower of them. But what I have heard about them, Sidney Crosby is obviously still a threat. It's going to be a very, very entertaining game. I think up and down the ice, I think it will happen. I think hopefully, being in March 1st, the ice and the conditions around Chicago will still be frozen, and it won't be as warm. You don't know what the weather will be. So I think hopefully the ice will be good for that game for both goaltenders, for both teams, be evenly matched. As I had said, Marty Brodeur called the ice at Yankee Stadium the worst he has played on. So hopefully there's no issues there. All right, the final game I want to talk about is the Heritage Classic, Canucks versus the Senators. This game is going to be very entertaining. I think you have the Sedins, then you have the Bobby Lou, Roberto Luongo for the Canucks, and the Senators. I believe this is somewhat of a rivalry game. This will be held March 2nd at the BC Place in Vancouver, I believe. Let me check my notes. Yeah, that'll be the Heritage Classic. I believe this is outside, if I'm not mistaken. And I really looked into that game. I just wrote it down, just mention it. But I believe they're a very intense game. Like I said, I believe they're rivals. So it'll be something to look forward to, another hockey game, another outdoor hockey game, I believe. So, yeah, just my thoughts on the Stadium Series so far. One thing I will caution against the Stadium Series, and I did kind of have thoughts on this after I saw an NHL.com post on Facebook yesterday, is nothing, in the direct quote was, nothing like a team entrances coming out of the locker rooms of going into the ice at Yankee Stadium. It's hard to kind of describe that picture for you guys, but I don't know what to think about the Stadium Series. I think the Winter Classic is just as special as it is, and I think it's, to this point, although these games have been entertaining, like I had said, and I've enjoyed them from start to finish, all three of them so far, and I believe I'm going to enjoy these last two games. But it's just kind of an overkill for me right now. The specialness, the mystique, I guess you could say, of the Winter Classic is just being taken away a little bit. I know the Winter Classic itself has been very entertaining the last couple of years, obviously, but I just feel that it's not going to be as special. You have 4 or 5 of these games every year if this continues, and people are going to say, "Oh, it's just another game." Unfortunately, it's gonna. Even for diehard hockey fans, it's not gonna be the same, especially if there's 2 games every year in Yankee Stadium. If they're gonna do this, I think they should definitely switch up the location. Maybe bring one to Minnesota, or bring one to I don't know, just places where they don't normally see outdoor hockey games. Somewhere where it'd be cold. Maybe put a neutral game in Wisconsin somewhere. Maybe Milwaukee. I don't think they have a a professional hockey team. I know they have the Milwaukee Admirals, but you just want to put it somewhere where it'll be different, where fans will want to see it if they're going to continue this. I don't know if they should. The jury is still out. We will see how these next 2 games go. I will do a recap of those when that happens, but yeah, it should be very, very interesting to see how these next 2 games go. Like I said, they've definitely been entertaining, but I believe there is an overkill a little bit. We'll see. We'll see, though, how this happens. It's going to be very interesting. All right, guys, well, thank you for watching this episode of Sports Buzz. I just figured I'd give my thoughts on this so far. I will give my thoughts on the whole thing when this is done after March 2nd here. Very, very entertaining so far, as I had said. Maybe an overkill. What do you guys think about the Winter Classic, or these Winter Classic and the outdoor games? Are you guys a fan of these? You know, who are you just neutral with these teams? I mean, do you want a certain team to win? Like my case, besides the Blackhawks game, I don't really care who wins. It's just fun to see, fun for this time to see. It's gonna be interesting to see how this happens in the future. Alright, guys, well, thank you for watching this episode of Sports Buzz. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have, please give it a like. Please give my channel a look. I try to put up new videos whenever I can, whenever I find any on the computer that I haven't put up. I try to put them up and give you guys something else to look at. Try to keep you guys coming back for more. Check out my Albany Corners if you haven't. Check out my Sports Buzz episodes. Check out my other concert videos and whatnot and everything. Please subscribe again if you like this. Thank you guys for watching the episode of Sports Buzz. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.